Well, good day and I love you. I'm Heather Peterson Lockhart, and welcome to Tough Love. This is my first ever episode of my brand new podcast, and I'm delighted to have you with me. So, I'm going to take a second and let this thing come on. I'm never quite sure that I'm doing it correctly. And take a minute to get organized. Full disclosure, I am not here when I said I was going to be, as because I'm feeling the nerves of today, and I get really worked up when I do these things, and I'm sharing that because I know you can't tell. That's what others say. They say, "No way, you look so calm. You look so collected." I've learned over a lot of years to balance my voice and to balance my energy, when this kind of energy and this kind of situation before would have given me a panic attack. Absolutely. And I want to share that. That's one of my superpowers. I have a beautiful ability to share who I am and what I'm about with others. I have lived and am living on two very far extremes of the spectrum of life now. And so I have been afforded a very beautiful, unique experience where I used to wake up vomiting my guts up and shitting my pants, trying to decide which end to service first, having to metabolize enough alcohol so that I could drink water and not continue to get sick. And then today I wake up loving myself more than most human beings I encounter. So those are two really different ways to start the day, aren't they? Yeah. So I've practiced quite a few tools and quite a few new ways of living now at this point. And so I am beginning this podcast so that I can share them with you, and then I can have others join me that can share a little bit about how they live too and how they take care of themselves. So we're going to start with a few deep breaths, and I have a beautiful crystal singing bowl with me here. I like to start all of these excuse me, all of the, what do you want to say? Any kind of interaction I give. I find that most of us don't breathe. Most of us are in need of calming down, so let's do that. Go ahead and close your eyes. Take a big breath in through your nose and let it go out through your mouth. And take a big breath in through your nose and let it go out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And allow your shoulders to soften, your eyes to smile, and your cheeks and your mouth to calm down. Take your left hand and put it on your chest. Take your right hand and put it on your left. And say, I love you, to your beautiful body that brings life and experience and touch and taste and even fear and all the warm fuzzy things in between. Say thank you, I love you to your body with your eyes closed. And for those that are just joining us, with your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your left hand, say I love you to your body, and say I love you to all that is, to a power greater than we that has it all figured out, so we don't have to. And then say I love you to this beautiful earth who gives us all we need each day to balance our body Okay. Thank you so much for joining me today. I want to give you a bit of information real quick here, and then I am going to bring a beautiful friend of mine on camera, and he's going to join me today for my first ever podcast. Yes! And he is brave, because it's called Tough Love. That should tell you something right there. In fact, he and I will talk about this, but another thing that I was saying is, we all choose the pie slice that we present on social media. I mean, put one side of our face forward, most of us. We do the same little look or whatever it is, right? We have this look of what we think looks the prettiest on us, or what we think we should say or whatever. And I do that as much as any. And I have given a slice on social media, which is a slice of who I am. But I bet you that those that are close to me would say, oh no, she's more of a firecracker. She's a lot more intense than that. Because I am. I don't small talk much. When someone sits in front of me, I give them all my attention. And when I feel passionately, and that's most all the time. So, moral of the story is, I'm going to bring all of me here. And with the people that I interact with. I'm not going to hold back, just like I don't when I share in meetings of my recovery and when I share with those who come to me, who want to feel better, right? So that's what this is for. So you get to meet me in that capacity too, like my kids know me, like my man knows me. So there you have it. I also want to say that Mars is square Saturn today, so if you guys are feeling like you can't get things moving on the things that you want to do and it's really challenging, that's totally normal right now. It's a good sign for you to pay it. The way to use this energy is for us to slow down a little bit and to see what's moving. If it's stressing us out and it's not moving forward, we might want to leave it alone. Mars isn't happy right now, so we don't feel like we can take really constructive action, and that's really frustrating at a time right now. Like I said, I wanted to just not show up today. It makes me nervous, and so I wanted to just not deal with it. That's the kind of energy, just fuck it, you know what I mean? So, but we also have a North Node conjunct Uranus right now through the weekend, and then it's over. And this is the most karmic, destined bound time of your life to make change. You can choose right now to see yourself differently. You can choose right now to see what's going on around you differently. You can take an opportunity to upgrade and update your belief system, which will update and upgrade your life. And you can become a whole new you. Yes, with a whole new life. So move your feet right now, even though it feels a little scary. That's what's up. So, without further ado, I am going to bring my lovely friend on here. His name is Tony. Tony and I will recap for a second. I actually have known Tony since my high school days, and that's a hot minute. So, I think he's waiting here, and I'm not sure how to do this, so bear with me. Hang on one second. Dun, 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 dun. I think... Technology. Yes.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can. All right.
Welcome.
I'm glad to be here, Heather. Inviting
I'm
me. Very
I'm
special.
so glad you're here. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm so glad you're here. I think you're so brave for being here, and I just want to say that right away. So.
Well, I feel honored. Uh, and if you'd like, I'd share a little bit about myself and a little bit about my history so that we can get moving on to all this great healing and being stuff that I love. And something about you that I love is that we connected about in 2020 and kind of reconnected and shared a little bit about our journeys. And I was always drawn to you. One thing for everybody that's watching, I say this in a positive word. Heather is a spectacle. She was a spectacle in high school, and she's a spectacle now. And I mean that in the most positive way because people are drawn to Heather. You know, she's great, and I've just always admired her, and really admire her for her intelligence. She's wise beyond her years. Really raw, really real. Obviously gorgeous, but she's a true dynamic friend that I really connected with, and so we've had a lot of laugh time and a lot of real shit to talk about. And so a little bit about my history, since I gushed on you already. um, I'm really your average middle-aged married man of 23 years with a beautiful wife and three kids aged from 22 to 17. And I'm also a recovering alcoholic. And I'll tell you a little bit of backstory on that. I've been an alcoholic for about 20 years of my adult life. And I would call myself a professional alcoholic because I somehow made able to manage it and hide it. About my alcohol history, it was kind of just my secret. I never cheated on my wife, but alcohol was my mistress. I romanced it. It was my confidant. It was my friend. It was my secret. And until it got sloppy and cat was out of the bag. I did spend time in rehab about 6 years ago, which was wonderful. And I even left with high honors. They even paid for my stay there because they're just, Tony's never going to drink again. Look how good he is. You know, he's amazing. And I kept it up for about 7 months until I thought, like, yeah, man, life is good. I think I could be an adult and drink again. Wow, what a fucking mistake. I went right down the rabbit hole and got even worse in my addiction. And it truly was controlled my life. I lived to drink. And talk about tough love, my bitch slap came to me last September when I was working. I decided I've always quit cold turkey and figured I was fine and good and, you know, got my life back together, kind of. And then last September, at the end of the night, I wasn't feeling well, and I almost wanted to go home and tell the rest of my coworkers, like, you mind if I leave early? I'm so glad I didn't, because I might have had a seizure on the road or killed somebody having a seizure. So God put me in a safe place, and I was meant to have that seizure and hit the back of my head and went to the hospital and got released after I had every scan, every probe in my body. They're like, yeah, he's good to go. My wife, my life angel came and to talk to the doctors and like, are you sure he's okay? They're like, yeah, he's perfectly fine. He just can't drink again. And that was the rule. And she's like, can you please just do another scan? Just humor me. Can you check his liver again? They're like, well, we already checked it. It's fine. But they did. And guess what? They found a mass on my liver. And no surprise, I mean, I had my seizure due to alcohol dependency. And when they found that, they discovered that I did actually have the early stages of liver cancer. And I went and got healed. I have about a 6-inch scar. I could have done chemotherapy, radiation, or they could have cut it out. And since it was early stages, I just said, yes, please cut it out, because the liver is the one organ that does rebuild and regrow. And so I'm doing well with that, and I am cancer free, and I am alcohol free. But this tough love part of it that Heather and I were talking about is that I had to really figure out during my recovery. Recovery is a bitch, you know, it's hard every single day. I really have to focus on it. And focusing on that really brought into a lot of anxiety and a lot of real shit. I had to actually sit in my shit. Heather and I were joking about sitting in shit and really knowing where you're at. I never sat in it before. I was that guy who was like, my shit don't stink, your shit stinks, right? I wasn't owning my own shit, and had a lot of issues that I wasn't dealing with because alcohol numbed. Every time I felt stressed, every time there was a problem, a financial problem, a problem with the kids, alcohol was my savior so I didn't have to deal with it. Now, since in recovery, I've got a lot of shit that I've got to deal with. And I've leaned on some tools and some meditation, and I've leaned on Heather's posts. I've learned a lot from them and how to be better. That's what I'm all about right now. I can give a lot of advice. I've been a mentor to a lot of people that didn't even know that I was an alcoholic until recently when I told them what I'm going through, because I hid it pretty well. But I can't help other people unless I really help myself. And so that's why I've leaned into Heather and all the knowledge that she has done to build her tribe and what she's doing now and helping so many other people. I'm just excited to be a part to let other people know that I'm a part of that tribe. I listen to all the tools that she has. I love when she starts with the meditation at the beginning of this podcast, because we all need to be reminded to breathe, to be, and to be whole, and to know that we're always a work in progress. And I know Heather is too, and I am too. And I just can't wait to see all the stuff that she's doing. She's got the stuff. She's done the work. And I'm just so excited to call her a friend and to be a part of this, because I really truly believe she's got some great tools, and I listen, and she's amazing. So thank you. And thank you, Heather, for letting me be here.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing everything that you did. Thank you for being so transparent and being so brave and sharing you. I'll ask you, how are you taking care of yourself today? What's that look like?
Yes.
And what's the day look like in that regard?
Well, faith.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a true believer. God has gotten me through the toughest times. I've never said, why me? I know why. And I just have a walk with God. So that's really most important. I get down on my knees and I pray and I read scripture and my fellowship. I feel I am surrounded by angels. I've gotten away with so much that I shouldn't have, and I've just relied on that. But today, I read scripture. I prayed with my wife. We are working together. Marriage is difficult. And so I have that space to be able to, we lean on each other and figure out how we're going to get through so much going on, because my family life is dynamic. I got a daughter in Europe, son just came back home, and then I've got a special needs child as well. So we've got a lot to do as teamwork to do it, and that begins with that. I had a great fresh pineapple smoothie and ate some extra fruit this morning, and I went for a good 3.5-mile run before I took a shower and got ready for this podcast, to make myself feel good and intentional, because I want to live the best, healthiest life that I can, because I was given that chance to do so, and I can't fuck it up this time.
It sounds like you've got a lot of great tools.
Yes, I am with group. I do group therapy. I do AA. I should do it more often, but I've got a great community already that I lean on, and that I can actually be real and not be fake, and really talk about the real shit that all of us are going through. So
let me ask you this, because I find that my experience with men is that men process very different from women. Do you feel that you recognize when you are getting anxious, or is it pretty much when it's full blown, like, wow, I'm really, this blows?
yeah, so I do see doctors as well. I've got a psychiatrist, and something that they gave me when I felt like I had so much pressure in my head that I'd never had before. I never had an anxiety attack before, because, like I said, I just numbed any problem that I had. So I quickly called my psychologist, and they did put me on something that wasn't an opioid. It was something to help make sure that I don't have a second, because my brain is still wired as an addict. I haven't, that's what I've trained my brain to do. It's an organ.
Baby, that's going to be for the rest of your life.
Yes, and I will be in recovery the rest of my life, and that's fine, because I love being in this space and having to deal with real shit. And I do go to a mindful group every Monday where we talk about mindfulness. It sounds silly. We joked about this millennial term of "it's okay not to be okay," which makes me laugh, but it's true. It is okay for me as a man to actually feel my emotions, and I had not even cried as much as I have since like the last month. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Do I really need to get Xanax or something? I don't want to do that, because, like I said, I have an addictive mind, and I need to find other tools to be able to meditate, to breathe, to not be afraid to ask for help when I need it. That is something that I never did before. So
Amen.
being vulnerable and
Yeah.
just letting people know what you're really going through. Are you doing okay today? I could be doing better, thanks for asking. But those kind of things, just, being honest with yourself, because that's something you're going to do.
Yeah. And I think you just have to get to a point where you're either willing to start doing that or not, because it doesn't come naturally. So it's something you have to work at. I'm gonna say too. I have a story to share with you. Some background. When Tony and I talked a couple times, this was a while ago, but I don't remember what the initial conversation started. But I remember that I was saying that all of us want to. It seemed to me like to segue in there. It was like maybe 2017 when everyone came on Instagram and they wanted to inspire others, and everybody wanted to be an influencer, and that stupid term came out. And this is everyone's aspiration, to inspire others. And I remember thinking, I wonder if these people inspire themselves, because if they don't inspire themselves, how the hell are they supposed to inspire me? And most people, you do find those that are really have it together and have a really healthy sense of self, and they continue to reinvent themselves. And yeah, they do inspire themselves, but it's an empty pitcher that you can't pour from if you want to inspire others and you're not in a state of inspiration. And so we have this want to go help everybody else and to look like we have it all together and to be this inspirational character, but never mind, like, our own house is in disarray. I I give the I say we behave like a bunch of infants. We all got like our diaper halfway on, our diaper's falling off, one leg is in, one leg is out, and then we look at each other and we're like, oh my God, Johnny's about to shit himself. Oh no, Johnny's about to shit himself. And we're like, should we go help him? And never mind your diaper's halfway on, my diaper's halfway on. Like, we don't have a fucking clue what we're doing on our own, but we're gonna go run off and help Johnny. And then you got three people with no diapers on and shit everywhere.
Right.
Literally. And,
Yeah,
and that is this our society that says that we should go fix everything else and change everything else and worry about everyone else, and then that's going to change our circumstances, which will change how we feel and change our life, which is absolute bullshit. When I was first remanded to a program of recovery, meaning I was remanded there before I chose to stay there. The state of Virginia decided I needed to be in this program of recovery, and so I would bounce in and out. I would go in and I would stay sober for a minute, and I would, go back out and do my thing. And so I had this wonderful woman. Her name is Michelle, and she would say, at the end of the meetings, we would say, don't drink, go to meetings and help another alcoholic. And she would yell, except for Heather. Heather can't help you. Heather can't help any of you. And I would just look at her and she's like, because Heather helps herself right out the door. Because I wanted to be helpful, Heather. When you came through that door, I wanted to be the welcome committee. I wanted to tell you what a wonderful representative of this program I am and how I have it together. I mean, like, I haven't drank in like 7 days, damn it.
I hear you.
I wanted to just be so available to everybody else. And I was so mad. I was so butthurt that she wouldn't let me go help everybody. But I looked back on that and I was like, wow, that was the first lesson in me starting to try to pay attention to my own self and govern my own energy. And I didn't have a clue. Years later, I do it a lot differently. I have a couple things. And it's funny, I wrote down the word when you were speaking, helpful, with a little e, little l, little p, and then big LFULL. If we're to be helpful to others, we have to be full within self first. I cannot give you what I do not have. That's the sins of the Father. The sins of the Father is the belief system and the places that I have not healed, so I mock behavior without words that the children pick up on. It's not that no mother, no father ever sits down with a child and says, listen, I want you to be filled with shame. You're totally worthless. I want you to bring relationships into your life where people just shit all over you. You know, just and don't do anything creative. Slave for a job, honey. Go waste a job and don't think you have anything good to offer. Just decide it all sucks.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
no one sits down and says any of this, and yet where we have not healed ourselves, we have not healed because so we create a belief, and the belief creates a behavior, and this behavior is modeled in front of the children. The sins of the father are not the words told by the mouth. They are not the punishable actions. They are the unhealed belief systems that create the behaviors where we teach our kids. And I think that until we learn to become aware of our own energy and our own feelings, we're never going to be able to do that. This whole paradigm, this whole premise of do unto my neighbor as I would have done unto self. Please do not do me like you do you. Please do me like a complete stranger, because chances are most people do a complete stranger better than they're gonna do me, than they do themselves. You know, we don't treat ourselves well. So how are you supposed to honor your neighbor with the same sloppy shit you give yourself? The same lack of consistency, lack of love, lack of support, lack of time. Really? No, I don't want that. Thank you. You can keep that. You know? So I haven't had the behavior modeled for me. How do I become aware of my own energy? How do I become aware of what I need, how I feel? I grew up under the paradigm, and even in my program of recovery, I was taught that it's a fact I have feelings, but my feelings aren't fact. I will tell you, my feelings are fact as fuck, motherfucker. Boom. Because, yes, I am a human being. I am a biological creature. When certain things happen in front of me, whether I see them, hear them, experience them, think them, feel them, or whatever, it elicits a response in my endocrine system, in my hormones, which makes me behave some type of way. Now, where it becomes fact or not fact is that I have choice in how I react. Just like I said, when I was going to come on here today, all day, I wake up all day today and my stomach is in knots. And I say to my beautiful boys, oh, well, this is a nice, pleasant mix. I'm going to crap myself and puke. And, and I'm like, and we got like 4 more hours of it. Lovely. But the thing is, because I've done it before, I know I'm not going to crap myself and puke. It just feels like that. And if I say, well, last time you didn't shit yourself and puke, puke on yourself, just keep walking, mama.
That's right.
Then learn to do it. And so we have to become the feelings, the things that happen in front of us. External stimulus does elicit internal responses. So we do feel some type of way. But then it becomes up to us, if we have the tools or if we know what to do with it, we can make choices that help calm us down. We don't have to escape to a substance, escape to a behavior, shut that shit down, go to bed, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Everybody's got their thing unless they're showing up. And if we were all showing up, there'd be a whole bunch of Jesuses walking on water, right? So we got a little work to do. So I have a couple things written down to help because, and this is cool stuff. We have these programs like we're talking about here. We develop these programs from what we've seen in our life, from our education system, from the behavior modeled around us, from everyone who's been in our lives, who we've chosen to pay attention to. You know, think about this. Whatever you've chosen to watch on TV, whatever groups you've been a part of where you've soaked up this information, if you think the parents had it together, then you ascribe to their belief system. If you think they were out to lunch, then you do not ascribe to their belief system, right? So you have all these things that you let come in, and you made your own little, one time I called it a core value house. You made your own structure around your house, and you made your core values, like they could be healthy or they could be not healthy, right? This was an exercise I did. In fact, I have this. If you're interested, I have how to determine your core value house exercise on my YouTube channel. It's flipping brilliant. I'll share mine. This was years ago. Someone taught me this, and I determined that my center beam on my house of Heather was that good girls don't have needs. Good girls don't have needs. Good girls are team players no matter what. Good girls don't open their mouths and complain. Like, I had this really toxic core value house built around me. And then when I demoed that house and like, ooh, oh, when I when I demoed that house and knocked that shit down, well, then I got rid of all my unhealthy beliefs. But then I had like, my head was like, woo, floating in the abyss, because I didn't have new beliefs. I didn't know what I thought about new healthy stuff yet. You know what I mean? So I had to create override programs for the house that I had created from the stuff that I had soaked in, and decided that this was the way things are. This keeps me safe. This keeps me healthy. This is who I am, right? This little house. My name is Heather. I look like this. I talk like this. Right? And then, then one day my house starts to cram my head. So I knock it out. So then I have to make a new house with healthy beliefs so that I can have a hospitable belief system. So what I found today is none of that stuff happens overnight, and it's an ongoing process, and you really only get to address one big core belief at a time, because spirit is loving. And so God doesn't give you what God's not going to take you through. And so if you learn to pay attention, there's kind of a core theme going on sometimes, like setting boundaries, making yourself a priority, nourishing your biology. They're usually pretty simple. Like, I meet people and they're like super spiritual and they're like super prayer, super regimented like that. And I'm like, but okay, so when was the last time you prayed? And they're like, can't remember what I had for dinner last night. And this is 4 p.m. the next day. So how is your biology supposed to be balanced? Prayer ain't gonna do it. Right? So there's some simple things that you've got to look at the whole paradigm of self. You are in a biological vessel. And some of this, I'll always say what I think is my opinion, what I think is the gospel truth, and whatever. I don't know what else is there. What else is there? My opinion and the gospel truth.
Check.
So you're in this biological body, and it responds to stimulus around you. It responds to everything you see. In fact, this is why I say your nutrition is all you take in. We've been taught my nutrition is what I eat. My nutrition is what I drink. But my nutrition is what I put in my mouth, what comes in my eyes, what comes in my ears, what comes through my skin. What comes through my skin is what I put on my skin products, any kind of cleaning stuff that's being sprayed or anyone spraying meth around me. And what also comes through my skin from those big ass towers outside that emit EMF. What comes through my phone that I carry around that gives Wi-Fi signals. Or all the appliances in my house. There's all these things that give off signals that come in through my skin and come into my signal. We are a bioconductive frequency. We are a vibration. In the subatomic form, we are a vibration. And so the idea is to make your vibration as harmonious and balanced as possible. Okay? And this is so cool because this shit gets so basic and it's undeniable. And it doesn't matter what you think about yourself. It doesn't matter what religion you are, what color you are, where you are, and it's all free. You are 72% water, approximately. You're about 12% bone and 6% air and 4% fire. The same denominations as the earth. The exact same denominations as the earth. Now that 72% of water is conscious. It carries memory. It can be coded. All of my products, this is why we exchange the energy. It can be coded. It can be settled down. You can settle down your frequency. You can settle down your body. Like you know, if your kid, and this isn't the best example, but if the little kid is like freaking, you know, running around the house and they're like, and you give that kid a cookie and shove the cookie in the kid's mouth or whatever, the kid sits still, and the kid, the cookie, you you feed that frequency and you balance it. Like it takes it in, it absorbs it. It sucks it in and it slows down. You can do things to the biology to calm the biology. You can, just like you can watch a scary movie and make things scary. You can do things. Our most the input coming in our everyday is tremendously scary, and we have no idea until you back up off it. You know, if you watch the news, if you listen to some people's view of how things are, it's overload in your endocrine system. It's overload in your inside processing system. So we can take steps to balance your biology and to slow things down so that everything you experience in a day is not so 0 to 100. It's more like 0 to 10. For starters, when was the last time you touched the earth with your bare feet?
Well, you taught me that. I even remember.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I know because I was just at the beach 2 days ago, or 3 days ago. And so I was excited because I do remember you having a podcast about that. And I even shared a picture of you of my bare feet just to laugh with you. But I remember that because I'm a person that nobody ever sees me with my socks off, okay? But because of that post that you had, I relished in the fact that, yeah, I do need to walk in the grass in the bare feet and put my feet in the ocean and feel the water rush up against me and feel the sand. And so I did that just 3 days ago. And every time I get to the beach, socks off, shoes off, and I'm walking on the earth in my bare feet. And
Amen. Amen. And to experience the sensory input of being in the water and all of that is beautiful. We want you to touch the ground every day. This is it's so funny when I say this. If someone came to me with late stage cancer, if someone came to me with debilitating, like, can't leave their house anxiety, I would tell them how to wire a mat inside their house to create the grounding effect that I'm going to tell you. I believe this is the #1 most important thing in balancing your biology. This is an electromagnetic heart. This is the center. This is the center transmitter and receiver. This is an electric brain. It is nothing but a computer. That's all it is. When you go to the doctor, these are measured with an EKG and an EEG, measured an electronic impulse, yes? So these are two electric systems, right? Now they're in a what? Body of water. I just told you, that's a circuit right there. That's a live circuit. Just for a whole nother podcast, but it's also triangulating with your pineal gland. Little gland outside the cochlea of your left ear. And this is what is instrumental in human evolution and what is like crystallized with fluoride, what gets shut down with a whole lot of the preservatives in our food. So that's a whole other thing. But you've got this electronic, technically it's an electromagnetic system on an electromagnetic earth. You have energy sensors at the bottom of your feet. We are mammals. We are mammals of nature, of the animal kingdom. We seem to forget this. We are the only creature on earth, other than domesticated pets, that don't walk outside every day and touch our bare paws or feet to the earth. Back in the day, no matter what color you were, no matter what tribe you were from, you were either in a wigwam or a teepee or an igloo or a cave. You were in the earth. Your mama was given birth bare butt on the earth or in a body of water. You were immediately connecting to the earth. your electromagnetic frequency was immediately syncing with the earth, the ultimate mother, and balancing your energy. And then you went outside like all the other creatures and you connected with her each and every day. The birds land in the trees, grounded to the earth. Everything walks outside. If you become aware, you start to see they go out there and sun themselves. Little squirrels just sit there and like bask their chest, and they turn over and put their their backs out. Everybody takes their turn going outside and soaking up and connecting. And then, and I believe it's the late 1930s. I haven't done this research in quite a while. I think it's the late 1930s, we invent rubber and we start putting rubber on the bottom of our shoes. We used to have organic soled shoes, leather soled shoes. And so the rubber cuts off the frequency of the earth to the biological body. So most humans nowadays wake up in a bed, in a room, suspended off the earth. Then they put on some shoes that I got rubber soled shoes. Then they go get in their car that's grounded with 4 rubber tires. And then they go to an office that's also off the ground. And then they come back home and do it again. And they never touch the earth. And their energy is absolutely whack. You have all kinds of stories of like, a lot of times I remember when my girls were little and they had colic, you hear a lot about moms, like, you know, if the baby's fussing, if the baby's got colic, you often walk outside with that baby. You walk outside with the baby, you know, you pat the baby, you're loving on the baby, and you think maybe it's a change of scenery, fresh air, sunshine, whatever. It's the grounding energy of the earth is literally feeding this little human that is more used to that frequency than ours, you know, as it just came from source. It's wonderful for super high energy kids. It's wonderful for those with given the term autism. That's other people give those terms. I call us all just interested. We're all just on the spectrum at some level, you know? So get outside and touch the ground every day. You don't have to walk out barefoot. More men than not, in my experience, I'm not sure why, don't want to go out and touch the ground barefoot. They just don't like it. They don't like getting their feet dirty. And the thing is, you can do it in socks. You don't have to touch your bare feet. You just can't put a rubber partition between you. You could put a blanket down and walk all over the blanket. It doesn't have to be your feet. It can be your butt. You can sit out there and drink. Ideally, get your morning coffee or tea or whatever it is, walk your sweet self outside and sit there for a minute. You can sit in a chair with your bare feet on the ground. Put a little towel on. You don't have to get your feet dirty. You know, princess. I'm just teasing. And then it's soaked that up. So it's literally soaking up the balance. The other thing is, I'll tell you this. Have you noticed that, like, the monkeys aren't grabbing unripe bananas and stabbing each other? The zebras aren't running into the Lion Kingdom and being like, well, damn it, I'm a lion. And the lion's not like, man, fuck being king of the jungle. I'm done with this. This is too much, right? Like, no other species is cracking out and wanting to mutiny against its own survival and evolution and well-being other than human beings. Everyone else seems to change with the earth. All the humans running around worrying about the earth changing. Oh, she'll be fine. Whether or not we'll be here with her is a whole nother story. She be all right. She been here a long time. She gonna be all right. So it seems so foreign to us. We're so detached to be told that the earth is anything separate than us. So to go outside every day and to put your feet on the earth and to touch for just a few minutes, like 10 minutes, is a total game changer. And it'll settle yourself down. If you take a timer, I know that's a really long time still for people starting to do it. I know. 10 minutes is a long time. And it needs to be ideally 10 minutes with no device. But if you want to do like music, put your music on and leave it when you can't reach the phone. But just sit out there for a little bit. Like set a timer, like it doesn't have to be a long time. But it's good to start that connection. You already exercised, so that was one of the things on my list. The body is kinetic and bioconductive. So just like a kinetic watch, literally, if you don't use it, you will lose it. Absolutely. But the good news is, with that, you can kick it on at any time and throw it in the microwave. You know, we see these stories, and we used to think that they were the exception to the rule, where you see, oh, like that woman, isn't she in her like 70s or 80s? I believe she's, I don't remember how old, but she was circulating Facebook for a while, an older African American woman, and she just started weight training, and like her, I think she started in like her late 50s, and she's like all diesel in her 60s, and I mean, looking nice.
Yeah,
So
I saw.
the thing is, that body is literally conscious and awaiting your interaction, your instruction, your loving approval and compassion. My God, it shows up for you every day in service, breathing, eating, experiencing, feeling, all these things. So if we can give it some more balance and feed it what it needs, it's going to respond better. And it can do anything, anything. It is capable of anything at any age.
Yes.
You look at the 100 years in the Bible. Do you know if we think that it's not capable today, then either what? The planet got lazy or God doesn't love us? God devolved? Did it evolve? Either are possible. It's a limited consciousness. That's what that is. Limited consciousness. The minute you get it in your head that you can be better from anything, you start syncing up to the flow that allows that access, you get it. But you can't be detached. It's like sitting in your house and watching the kids outside play and being like, they don't want to play with me. Nobody likes you got to walk your ass out there and say, I'm here. I'm here to play. And then, whoa, everybody's like, oh, Tony's here, let's play. All systems second, you know? So touching the earth is the number one thing. For the women watching, touching the earth will sync up your menses, will sync up your menstrual cycle. Your menstrual cycle is a 28-day cycle, not because of some dumb shit that health told you. It's because of the moon cycle. Just like all other bodies of water on this planet, you are influenced every 28 days with a seeding and a bleeding, where you have it just like you have a new seed, and then you have the bleeding of the seed, the reading of the seed, the new moon and the full moon. And so if you get outside and start touching the earth every day, that's number one. And then I'll lead into the next thing I'm going to tell you. If you reduce the pollutants coming to your body through your personal care products, your cycle will sync back up. Your health will improve. You'll start to notice less of the junk in your body that should not be there. I make everything we use in this house, and it literally comes down to this. This is my body cleaning, my house cleaning. That's my soap. This is the oil I put all over my skin. This is a new product that's specialized for eyes and like, ooh la la, and around your lips. But so we have this is everything I use, and it's essential oils and all natural products. I started to learn quite some years ago about like, and the thing is too, it's just what we're used to. We're so used to like all these fancy products that do this thing to your hair or do this thing to your skin or clean the bathroom twice as fast or whatever. And because it's that gimmick, we're like, ooh, that's awesome. And we don't think anything about it. But if you pick up that product, it says extremely hazardous to humans and animals, right? We're like spraying the mirror, talking and breathing, soaking it in. It's settling on your skin. It's on your toilet. It goes in your skin. It goes into your endocrine system. These big fat, same thing with fragrances. If you go to Bath and Body and you get your favorite smell good fragrance lotion and you put that mess all over your skin, you have big fat fragrance molecules that are coming through your skin into your endocrine system, plugging up your hormones and wreaking havoc with your body. This is the reason, like some of these, like we pollute our systems and then they break down. Your system didn't just break. You know what? I get really hot on this one. Like, you didn't just like fucking hit menopause because it's 45 and your body's like, oh, wait. It's 45 on the Gregorian calendar? You mean the calendar made by man that doesn't have a fucking thing to do with anything? Oh my God, menopause, sound the alarm, shut down everything. Let's get hot and freak the fuck out. It's so stupid. No, it's called programming. It's called a belief system that you affirm. If you think about it, talk about it, put it in your space, and then, yes, it will manifest in your body. You're absolutely right. You gave the instruction and direction to do so. So if we cut out this stuff, cut out the pollutants coming in your personal care products, like when you pick up this product, it should not, you should not be able to not say that everything on the back. If it's filled with polymers, and if it's filled with phosphates and all these things, like, you guys, these are toxic chemicals, and they're, just because it's in a cleaning product, you should be able to, I can't do this one because it's sealed. Can you hear me? Can you get your mainstay, please? You should be, I'm gonna have to do it now to show you. You should be able to spray your cleaning products in your mouth. And if you accidentally get them in your eyes, not have to go to the hospital, okay? Because you are breathing that mess and putting it on your skin. Why is it acceptable that, like, why do you think it's not okay to put it in your mouth, but it goes in your skin? See, we don't think anything about this stuff. This is that product. Now, it doesn't taste good. It's got like tea tree and stuff. It's not my favorite, but is it gonna hurt me? Absolutely not. You know, I can get it in my eyes, I can get it on my skin. And so if you're spraying stuff, if you're using stuff in your home, then it's gonna come in your skin. And the thing is, we have forgotten that we are a beautiful, simple biological creature. And that when the stuff comes in the skin and messes up your hormones and makes you feel puffy inside and inflamed, that translates into feeling puffy inside and inflamed, i.e. anxiety. And so we think it's just like, wow, I'm not handling things really well right now. You know, my life just got hard and I'm freaking the fuck out. I'm not doing a good job. No, you're doing the best you can right now. Maybe you need some self-development tools and some therapy to couple that, right? But you also need to calm down your biology so that your body feels less puffy and inflamed. And then it settles down. Think about this. It's like when you're relaxing on the beach, since you talked about that, and you have the most amazing lemonade, like fresh lemonade in your hand. It's the perfect temperature. Oh, heaven moment, right? And your kid comes up to you and is like, blah, 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 and just says some crap you don't want to hear. You're like, that sucks. And you drink your lemonade and it does suck, but you're still at the freaking beach with the best lemonade ever. It's not that bad, okay? But if you're at home and you're like, you got two phones ringing and someone pulling on your leg and there's 8 things going on and you feel past your deadlines and you haven't eaten and blah, 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 and the kid says the exact same thing at that time, that's 100 times worse, right? Then it's like, you did what? You want what? Oh my God. Like the response is completely different, okay? Perfect example of where we can balance the energy and the biology so that, yes, life's going to happen. Yes, challenges are going to happen. The kids going to say those things. It's going to continue to roll. Give yourself I don't want to say a fighting chance. Give yourself a balanced boost. A fighting chance is a deficient way to say it. Word wizarding. It's a balanced boost. No fighting chance. That's old paradigm. No pain, no gain. You can bump that mess. No, we don't need any of that. We need a balanced boost. So we're going to ground. We're going to cut this mess out and clean up our personal care products. By the way, I've linked my personal care products on this podcast. You can see the link below at www.thechieftess.com. These products are charged with scalar energy, bioscalar energy, so your whole body is immune from Wi-Fi, cell phone, and EMF wave interference for 2.5 days per application. I put energy in a bottle.
Wow.
Yeah, Tesla is singing. Hey, amen. And so that is in all of the personal care products. So when you use these, and it's just what I told you, the water in these products literally has the charge of millions of plants. The scientist I work with has traveled the world for 20 years. He has put the charge of millions of plants, or not a million, I wouldn't say millions. I don't know. I don't know if you can quantify, at least over 1 million, into the water in these products. So the water in these products charges the water in your body, and that's why it's only good for 2.5 days, because you have cellular turnaround. So after 2.5 days, you would need to reapply. So use one of the products every day, and you are literally creating a very healthy bubble of biofield around you. So when all this mess comes at you, it bounces right off. What I realized is I couldn't go tear down those towers in this lifetime. I couldn't raise an army capable of tearing down all of those towers in this lifetime. I could not change the way that some others think that they can enforce a way of living. But what I can do is evolve in my own biology. I can go straight to the source and plug this beautiful body in, and I can make my vibration higher. The resistance, it's not the way anymore. It's to vibe higher. It's to make your biology more balanced, more effective, more conductive. So my products actually raise your conductive energy. You have scalar energy in your body. The earth is filled with scalar energy. So that's your own, and we're just giving it a boost. It would probably be more balanced if we lived more like we used to, if our foods were filled with more nutrients, if they weren't grown the way they were, the way they are, in deficient soils filled with junk. Our water's got a ton of junk in it, you know. So we're not, like, when you sit down to the most nutritious meal now, it's still deficient compared to what it would have been 10,000 years ago. Do you know what I mean? If you picked an apple off a tree.
Right.
So this is like bringing that goodness as much as we can energetically into today's, since you can't get it in today's food, we bring it into our body through the water. So, excuse me. And then I'm going to give you one more thing, because all of these are really easy for everyone to do at home, and they're game changers. I would love to hear from you, by the way, in a week after you practice these simple things as to how, if you feel more calm, if you feel more balanced, okay? Unplug all of the devices in your house when you're not using them. Everything. Your blender kicks so much off, it's insane. So unplug. If you're willing to do it, unplug your router and your modem. I'm not that good. I used to do that all the time and I got lazy. But after you use the blender, pull it out. After you use the coffee pot, pull it out. After you use your razor, pull it out. If you have an electronic toothbrush, huge EMF right there, pull it out. So charge it for as long as it needs and then pull it out. Don't leave your phone charger in the wall, pull it out. Do not sleep with your phone any closer than 6 feet to your head. When you get ready to go to sleep, put that phone as far from your head as you can. Where if you wake up to an alarm with your phone, then I understand you have it near you, but keep it as far from your head as you can and still hear the alarm. At least 6 feet from your body. Okay, it's kicking a whole lot of radiation. And this is something we're soaking up every night. Remember, think about this. This is the way we're living. No, this is existing. When the body is presenting with dis-ease, when the body is filled, when the mind is filled with anxiety, when there is inflammation, when there is discomfort, that's not the best living. No, that's more existing. So when we're exposing ourselves to these things every day, there is a cumulative effect. And then we just start to feel like, think about it, what do we all say? In so many words, my battery is slow.
Yeah.
We're pretty much saying my battery got slow. I don't feel as vital. I don't feel like I can do things as good as I once could. I don't feel like I have all the answers. I feel puffy inside. It doesn't feel the best. So if we can create more calm within our biology, then any self-development tools, any therapy that we're implementing, any program that we're working is going to be 100 times more effective in a body that's ready to receive. So, and then the other thing is when you go to bed, you know, it's a really good idea to do just some calming, like we did when we opened this podcast. Just some simple breathing before you go to bed, and to detach from any devices. It's really good to detach from all devices, electronic devices, a half hour at least before you go to sleep. Because again, you're a frequency. You're a frequency, and you are going to calibrate according to whatever you hook up to. So if you're hooked to the phone, you're going to go to bed at that frequency, and you will wake up at the exact same energetic frequency as where you went to bed. It's like a little monkey. I used to say to tell people that it's like that little monkey that's drumming, and if you turn him off, he's like, "Quack." And then the minute you turn it back on, he's like, "Quack," and then he goes right where he was, right? So wherever you stop that battery when you fall asleep, because remember, the brain is just a computer. So when you put it back up, it's going to resume right where it was. And that's just how it goes. So if you can start programming yourself to go to bed in a place that's more beneficial and more calm, with a few deep breaths and a few, whatever it is, read a book, not a nook, old school book. There's a different process going on in the brain there. Or listen to some music, or just, I don't know. Some people don't want to sit in quiet. They say that's why they hate going to sleep, because that's when they can't get, rid of their thoughts. Y'all, those thoughts aren't going to kill you. Those thoughts are there for a reason right before you go to sleep, because they're pressing. So what you can do about that is say, I understand that more of you are ready to communicate with me, and I'm willing to do that. I would like to do it in a way that is beneficial for my sleep and my well-being, and I would like to do it in a way that is as comfortable as possible. You get to say that. You get to say that out loud to your higher self, to all that is. You get to co-pilot how you desire. It doesn't have to be a scary shit show. You're going to learn one way or the other. You get to choose how you ride. So, you're on board now. And you're ready to meet yourself. And you're ready to start getting better and making better choices for yourself. So have that convo. I have lots of convos with myself out loud. Especially like when I've been injured and I'm healing, I talk to that part of my body. Because remember, your body is 72% water. That water is conscious and it's listening. So tell yourself. I say things like my sweet boys listen to me all the time. I say things to myself like, "Good girl, you're doing good." Oh, like, look at you, sweet girl. When I'm like having a rough day, because I feel like I need to say it. So say the things out loud that are comforting. It's really good. You said your partner is beautiful and on board. You might not know what you want to hear, but if you do know what you want to hear, you could tell her to say it to you before you go to bed.
Good idea.
My boyfriend and I, one of the most beautiful things, my mentor of 11 years taught me this. She said, "Heather, you're a good girl." And then I had this, anyway, I learned that I needed to hear it. And so I say to him, "You're a good boy." And he says, "You're a good girl." And I love it. And it's so like, it just makes you little. First thing in the day. It makes you little. It makes you feel like, I am a good girl. And I can figure it out. And I got lots of help. It's going to be okay. I hate to slaughter the scripture, but I'm not a big learner of scripture. But it goes a little something like this. Hit it. I believe the man that walked on water said something about you couldn't enter the kingdom of heaven until you become young, like you become able to behave like a child, right? And the kingdom of heaven to me is not some place that you go to behind pearly white gates. It can be here on earth. It can be in your living. It can be in the way that you decide that everything happening right now is for your highest good. And thank God it became so painful. And thank God your body's so smart that it gave you these clear beacons. And thank God you have someone in your life that said, "No, look at it again." And thank God that all these things are so freaking audaciously loud and life altering that you're going to pay attention.
Yes.
And in that way, like, you can play with it a little bit. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have it perfect. You just got to wake up and decide that you're a good boy and you do good things. You got lots of help.
Yep.
I get your feet on the ground.
That gets my feet on the
That's
ground.
a healthy personal care product.
I'm down my balance.
What were you going to say?
Hear everything. Yes. Walk barefoot, come down my biology, program myself, and unplug everything at the end of the night. That is all amazing advice and something that I definitely will do, because you're right, it's easy. It is easy. And as long as you do it, I'm willing to do that.
It's simple stuff. We can do it every day. I often have a conversation with my boyfriend. I'm like, would I have done these things if you told me like that they were that easy? And the answer is no, not for a long time. Not until like I really wanted to live better. Not until I really got tired of feeling ultimately disconnected. It just got to be like, I don't know. You can have anything. You can own everything. But if you don't feel like connected and that you're doing things every day that light your spirit up, why freaking bother?
Right.
It's not
Why?
even fun.
Yeah.
It's lame.
Yep.
All right, I'm pulling a card for you.
Okay. I'm excited.
You have Bronwyn. It says forgiveness. And it is number 7. She's beautiful, but she's upside down. So you have an alignment message. And for you and those at home, yes, I pull a goddess deck for a beautiful man. I believe that we are all in need more of this compassionate goddess energy. We don't really need we don't really need a boost in the damaged sacred masculine of go out and get her done. We need the balance of nurture and compassion, and the presence of balance, of caring about balance. So these goddess cards are beautiful little messages for both men and women. And this one says, sometimes we unintentionally cause hurt or pain to others. Sometimes our motive really is to hurt. Now is the time for self-inventory and making amends. Your alignment task is to be 100% accountable for your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, your motives, and your actions. You are not doing this, however, to experience forgiveness from someone else or even from yourself. It's to have the strength and the fortitude to be accountable and take responsibility for your actions. In this way, neither guilt nor shame can take root in your heart. You stand empowered and humbled with your head high no matter the consequences. You will always be the beneficiary of such an act. The goddess Bronwyn says, deep healing comes from this kind of courage and respect. Amen to that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Isn't that the truth? It's
Yeah.
an invitation for your liberation.
Yeah. It's taking accountability and responsibility, and knowing that your actions do have consequences that you have to deal with. And that's something that I'm doing, to be accountable for my decisions. It's real.
Speaking of accountability, I know I have just launched the Chieftess Living track. And it's actually it's a social platform. You can access it online, and you can also access it through an app. I am absolutely delighted about this. For those who don't know at home, I have been a trainer, nutritionist, and life coach for 27 years. I've been a mother for 24. I've been in recovery for 15. Well, actually, I've been in recovery for like 22, but I was just looking around for this. So, no. I was there. My butt was in a chair. Well, sometimes I used to fall out of chairs. I was court remanded to meetings, and I used to get drunk and fall out of chairs. But that's another story. So, anyway, I created a place where I've been on social media for years, and I've been sharing in social media for years. But the thing is, I want to create a community where we speak and live in a more beneficial way. I want to see what I want to see. I don't want to see what I don't want to see. And so I have the ability to teach others to do this as I have done it by modeling my behavior in a certain type of way. And it's been beneficial in the groups that I have created before. So now on this platform, everyone can come. We have recipes on there. We have training workouts. We have training videos, cooking videos. My son and I we made summer rolls and put those on there the other day. I need to put that on mine. We have nutrition education, self-development. I'm going to have a women's group for how to be a goddess in your daily life. What else? Meditation, parenting, most anything that has to do with health, wellness, and self-development. So, what was I going to say? My boyfriend and my son are also contributing, which is delightful. It was really neat too. They were nervous about, I said, well, you have to write an introduction. You have to introduce yourself. And they were both kind of nervous about it. And I said, yeah, it's different, isn't it? And so it's been a really neat process for all of us to do this together, to decide that like we're going to let people know us differently. And like, you know, I've been living differently for quite a few years now, differently from the norm. And so for quite a while, I would say I sort of kept it a secret because I felt like we were the weirdos that lived differently, and I really wasn't trying to hear it from others. But now that my girls are 24, my son is 11, and I have coached thousands of people around the world, and I see how they're benefiting, how they can live a balanced life today, how they can take care of themselves. So I really want to share that in a platform that's beneficial to those who come into the community, and in a way that I can support it and feed it. So I'm super excited about that, because the best way to learn how to live differently is to be immersed in a community or environment where people are doing it. And the words don't teach, Abraham Hicks says, the behavior does. So we have people in there that I have coached before and worked with before that are also assisting and helping and contributing. So it's exciting. It's really nice.
That sounds great. I wanted to ask you to like sign up. I do believe it was like $10. And what all do you speak about all of those classes? How often is it updated? How often?
So there's content on there contributed daily, and I'll contribute content, and then we haven't necessarily created a steady schedule for my boyfriend and my son to contribute, but definitely weekly. But as for me, you have content every day. You're also going to have the ability to, like, I'm organizing events, but I'm doing them on there. Like, we'll do a food prep workshop, and so $10 a month you'll have new content every day. You'll have access to all of the recipes, and it's not just what comes out every day. It's like an app where you can click in the nutrition section and then see all the nutrition articles. And click in the recipe section and then see all the recipes, that are in there. And I'm going to link it with my blog too, so you'll have, well, no, I'm not going to do that. That's too much you can do this. No, I'm thinking out loud. Sorry. I was going to say you can have access to that, but I just want to keep it in one spot. So we will also have food prep workshops. We have a pole dancing workshop. We have different workshops that are in the app, and so that you can sign up for the workshop within the app. And those will be monthly. There'll be different ones monthly. So, and I'm also open to hearing what everybody wants. It's not hard for me to create content for what everyone wants to see if it's health and fitness related. In fact, that's why this whole platform is so easy for me. I can video a few things I do in a day. I mean, literally, like the workout with my family. My son made homemade pickle, which is super cool, from the coupons we got in the garden. We made something the other day. We made a recipe that took us, I think, I don't know, maybe we were done in like 10 minutes. So the whole family can participate, because the idea is to there's so many things in life you have to do, and it's hard and it takes time, or it's something that's not fun. So if you can make being healthier and happier more affordable, more convenient, and more enjoyable for your whole family, then you've created your community that will make it effective for you. It's very hard to have this one way of life in a home where others are living this other way. and they're talking and eating this one thing, and you have to do this other thing. And unless you're completely self-sufficient, it's not really going to work. So if you can, see a recipe, and then maybe you and your son can make it, or you and your daughter can make it, whatever, you guys can make it one night for mom, whatever that is, or a workout that you can do with your family, you know what I mean, in the park, something like that. It's absolutely free. So just showing, because we live, it creates a way of living that is past my wildest imagination. I mean, like, I'm not saying I'm always in a good mood, but I'm happy, and I'm healthy. I'm really healthy, and I feel good most of the time. Like, I'm pretty excited to participate in most things, which is, bipolar opposite from the way it used to be. I used to find it hard to breathe when I woke up. That was even when I got sober for a while. That was even, a few years into being sober. It was still like scary to breathe when I first woke up. Impending doom about everything that you have to do in life, especially when you're first getting sober, because you have a shit show. You've created a shit show.
Yeah.
So, so the things that, the things that I do on a daily basis that create calm in my biology translate into my work, into my home, into my family. And it's that same thing we were talking about. If I don't do it for me, I cannot do it for my family. I cannot give it to those I work with.
Right. That's exactly what I'm working on now, just focusing on me being well, me being whole, me being healthy, so that I can be present for my family and be able to do the things that I want to do with them in a good way. And like I said, I could give all the advice in the world, and I have, but I've never taken my own advice, and that's just something that is very important to learn. And it is taking steps to do that. So I really appreciate all of that. Is your YouTube channel still active?
Yes. It's the Chieftess. I think I linked that on here as well. If you look at it should be in the comments below here. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, please, and thank you for that, Tony. I will upload all of these podcasts there. Moving forward, I would love to hear what you want to hear about in the comments. Anything health and fitness related, self-development, spirituality, hit me with it. I would love, and if you want to be a guest, I would love to hear from you as well. Yes, you can shop my products at www.thechieftess.com. Please come join the tribe. The link is down below. It says Chieftess Living. And yes, it's $9.99 a month, and I'm not going to raise that price. We are with Uranus and Taurus, and we have a few more years of that. And as you can see, things are really changing in the time. So I thought it best to create a community where we're going to be able to, number one, it's an affordable community, especially for the amount of content you're receiving. But in this, you're going to learn how to feed yourself more efficiently, which is going to be essential moving forward in 2 years. There are going to be food shortages. It has already started. There are going to be changes in the financial systems, drastic changes. There are changes in the workforce. There are changes in the productivity and the way that things get to where they're going right now. So this is no longer a theory. We've been talking about these things for a while. So again, as the world continues to change around me, if I can balance my own biology and learn to feed myself more efficiently so that I get the other good stuff that keeps my imagine if I make my nutrition system, my endocrine, my digestive system, my endocrine system, my cardiovascular system, all of my systems more clean, more effective, then they need less fuel. They don't need all this junk. They're moving more. Give them some clean fuel. They move more efficiently. My productivity is greater. My energy is greater. My mood is better. I'm a machine. I'm a beautiful, bioconductive, spiritual, animated machine. And if I feed myself with that which makes me go well, with good go juice, then, I run clean. So it's not all bad. I mean, I look at it as like, wow, I get to I get to upgrade my biology. You know, it's like I used to use the car analogy. I get to upgrade my systems, clean out my carburetor. I don't know much about cars, and make her shiny on the outside. But what fun is it if you don't see how to drive? Like you got to take it out and drive it. So that's the car.
Working.
Yeah, I think you're doing a wonderful job. And I'm that crazy one that, you know, when people are like, oh my God, the whole life's falling apart and everything is right down. I'm like, yay! Wonderful! Because the
Well, I
bullshit.
think back, I'm the biggest baby in the world whenever anything goes wrong. So I, I do revert back to that. And so I just know I'm looking for those tools that you were given to, you know, take care of myself and be better. And so I really appreciate everything that you spell out. And I can't wait to look at everything that you have. You've done the work. You've got so much knowledge. And I just am so excited to hear all of it live. So
Well, instead of saying you're a baby, too, how about you're a beginner? Isn't
yeah,
that more compassionate? I'm a
yeah,
beginner at this, and so I'm going to give myself what I need.
yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
You're not a baby. We're all infants in the whole process. Because guess what? You've never done this before. You've never been the man you are, with what you have, experiences you have right now, because it changes that quickly. So there's no way you'll have the experience. You've never been here before. What a beautiful freedom if you give yourself that. You
Yeah.
know? I pulled a card for everyone. The key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. Amen. Tony, thank you for joining me. I love you. I think you're doing a wonderful job. I think you are brave. And I'm really grateful to start this and to have you be my guest for the first time. What a beautiful blessing. How funny. This is like, we're grown up, Tony.
Right? It's true. I mean, I still see your 17, 16-year-old self, you know, and I love just what you turned into because I've always admired you and you just are doing such great stuff. And so thank you for lifting me up today as well. And I just feel very honored to be a guest on your podcast. It's
Thank
special.
you. And I want to tell you one more thing. And this goes for the first, I'll say 50 people who join or the next 50 people who join the tribe. I am going to send you, you can pick. You can have a personal training program for at home, or you can have a personal training program for in the gym, or you can have an easy food prep, which shows you how to cook enough food for 4 people for 4 meals at 1.5 days. And you don't have to decide now if you don't want to. You can let me know. And I'm going to send that to you. And I'm going to send you a sample body oil, a body barrier oil, as my super thank you for being here. So let me know. You can, and that's it for the next. The body oil is only for Tony, but the other stuff is for everybody. I will ask you what formula you want when we get off of here, and then I'll send that out to you. I have different ones you can choose from, where you can build your own. And then, yeah, for the next 50 people who join the tribe, you can have a free personal training program for a back to basics program for in the gym or at home, or my food prep master pack, which shows you how to prep enough food for 4 people, 4 nights, in 1.5 hours. Like, I have it figured out to a science, otherwise I would not have been able to do. Have you all noticed that I look like this all the time? I don't have an in-season and an out-of-season. Yeah, yes. Because I make it work. Even when I had 3 kids at home, it has to be convenient. It has to be affordable. It has to be delicious, nutritious, and it all has to go so that we don't lose our. So you can get the whole family involved in the food prep. Then you can have meals ready, different meals, 4 nights a week, that it can be made, reheated in about 5-10 minutes. You don't have to cook from scratch, but you're having home cooked food every night. So think that over. When you come and join the tribe at Chieftess Living, the link is below. You can get a personal training program for back to basics at home or in the gym or food prep magic. Ta-da. Cool. All right. I think that's everything. You got questions for me, Tony?
No, just thank you. took plenty of notes, and I'm so glad that this is great stuff, amazing stuff that you're doing, and it's going to be amazing for me because I am going to use it, and I can't wait to be part of the tribe. So I'll see you there.
And I can't wait to see you. And I mean it. Check out. I want to hear from you and meet about how you're feeling. Yeah, I think you'll notice a market difference. But I'll see you in the tribe, so I'll know.
All right.
Thank you. I love you. And I'll chat with you right after.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you all so much for joining me. I will upload these to my YouTube channel, and as Tony was so gracious to remind me, the link is below, so please click on that. As I said, you can shop my products in the link below. Please come join the tribe. Come get connected. Come join. Come introduce yourself, and let us know what you're about so we can love on you. We got crazy times coming on Earth, and it's nice to have a community where you feel that you're no longer alone, and you always got someone there to love on you and learn with you. Thanks so much for joining me today. I love you.